Have you ever asked yourself what is wrong with you? Did that thought ever cross your mind? Why you feel so different? Why do you not fit in? What is wrong with you? Is that the mindset or the question that is actually haunting you all your life? If that is so, this video is for you. Hi everyone, it's Sylwia. Welcome to my channel. So, what is wrong with you? This is the sentence or question I have been living with majority of my life. I never felt like I was fitting in. I never felt like I belonged anywhere. I always felt lonely. And I was always thinking that there was something wrong with me. I never thought, it didn't even cross my mind that there's nothing wrong with me, but it's actually the environment. So, but we're gonna go to that. First of all, if you feel like there is something wrong with you, if you constantly feel like you can't make friends, if you constantly feel like you don't belong, you're afraid to trust people, you find it very difficult to make friends, to maintain friendships, if you feel like you're the outsider, what we do when we feel like this, we tend to feel that there's something wrong with us. But what it really means is that something happened, that we no longer feel connected to the environment. And when we feel or when we believe that there's something wrong with us, this is just a side effect of childhood trauma. This is just the effect of something that happened to you, and as a result, you're thinking that there is something wrong with you. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. The truth is, the environment that you were growing up with, that was wrong. But of course you didn't know that, because as children we never question our reality, we never question our parents, we never question anybody's motives. We just take it as our norm. So your childhood trauma, when you were growing up with that, when you were growing up with childhood trauma, you were in it. So basically what happened was you took childhood trauma as your norm. So you didn't know any different. You didn't know any other way to be, to live, to experience life. So if this is normal, and if I still feel this way, there must be something wrong with me. If you had childhood trauma, and I believe you do, you're watching it, so obviously there's something that you feel drawn to about this video. So with your childhood trauma, you never questioned it. You never questioned the reality. You never questioned your parents. Maybe there's nothing wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with them. We don't do that as children because we need our parents. We need them to survive. We need them to love us. So we would do anything to maintain that love, to maintain that connection with them, regardless whether it's bad or wrong. We don't question the relationship. What we do question is ourselves. We question ourselves. We question who we are. Why, if your parents never met your needs, emotional, physical, if they didn't do that, we tend to think it's our fault. We get the blame. Oh, they're rejecting us because we're the bad people. They don't love us the way we want them to love us because there's something wrong with us. Oh, they treat us this badly because obviously it means I'm a bad person, so I don't deserve anything better. It's sad, but that's the truth. How the brain works of a small child. And then, as an adult, you still don't question whether your upbringing was actually normal. Yeah, sure, everyone has problems. Oh, such and such has a worse, so never mind me. We don't stop and we don't think, wait a second. What if there is nothing wrong with me? And what if the environment I was growing up with was wrong? You see, with that new idea, the whole concept, the whole perception of yourself and world actually changes immediately. And I can tell you on my own experience, only on my own experience. At the time, I think I was about 25 when I was told, yes, you heard that, I was told I had childhood trauma. And I was like, this woman, she doesn't know what she's on about. Like, no, I didn't. I didn't have childhood trauma. Like, that was normal childhood. I had the roof above my head. I had food. I had parents, grandparents, wherever. No, you got that wrong. I didn't. But only as we talked more, I realized I had a whole lot of childhood trauma. And I didn't even realize that I had. Everything I experienced as a young child, I took it as my norm. I believed there was something wrong with me, not the environment. I believed that there was something wrong with me. I didn't once think that I could have childhood trauma. I had the feeling that some situations were bad, but not to the extent that it was shown to me from another adult. And for me, when I did it, I felt so many emotions. I felt like, oh my God, like what now? Like, okay, I had this childhood trauma, so what does that mean now? Like, how will I fix this? Is that the end? Is this my life sentence? Is like I'm no way to, like I was, like, my whole world in that moment clapped. Like I didn't know, like, okay, like now what does that mean? Like I had childhood trauma. Okay, we established that, right? What next? Next was a whole healing process for me. Next, I felt release, understood, seen, Finally, I felt like what I felt as a child that deep down I suppressed long time ago. Finally, someone saw it. Oh, so I just didn't imagine that. It was actually real. I just suppressed my emotions. I suppressed my reality. I suppressed what deep down in my gut I knew. That moment when I realized I had childhood trauma, the whole game has changed for me. My whole life has changed. You know, being perfectionist, being on the goal of the time, achieving things, not being able to stop, always felt like I had to prove myself. I didn't feel like I could say no to people. I felt like I didn't trust anyone, yet if someone would come, like I wanted that connection, I wanted that closeness, but when someone would come to me, I'd be like, whoa, oh, no way, no way. I didn't trust myself even. All of those behaviors I just said, these are childhood trauma response. It is not me and it is not you. If you could recognize any self-sabotaging behavior, this is not you. This is the response of childhood trauma. So what does that mean? It means you're in survival mode, the same way I was. For 25 years, I was in survival mode. I lived life like I was in constant danger. I had to survive my life. I didn't feel like I could live. I always felt I had to be there for other people. I was always the savior. I was the glue of... It was a lot. And yet, when I realized I had childhood trauma, I healed myself. I took the steps that I needed to take. I was looking at some trauma that some of them I didn't want to look at all. Some of them were like, oh, that stinks. I don't like this. I don't like how it feels. I'm smiling now, I'm laughing now, but back then I wasn't. Back then I was like, oh my God, will this ever end? Yeah. And the journey of self-improving, the journey of keep changing and healing, I don't believe that can ever be fully stopped. It shouldn't, I think. Because as human beings, we're here to thrive, we're here to grow, we're here to evolve. But to do that, we constantly need to change. We need to change our behaviors, we need to change ourselves, we need to change how we think. And, there's many things. But with all this growth and changing, I'm a free person. I can choose what I want to choose. I can choose what I want to change. I can choose not to choose, and that is still a choice. But I'm free. I'm not in survival mode anymore. I'm actually feeling more alive than ever. And that's the whole beauty of healing your childhood trauma, healing your inner child. Do not ever dismiss your instinct, your gut feeling, your intuition. You have it for a reason. If something doesn't feel right, you got to trust that. This is your answer. whether you had childhood trauma or not. If something didn't happen, you wouldn't feel it. Trust that. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I hope I helped you somehow today. And if you can resonate with what I said, take some steps to heal your inner child. Take some steps to get back into your life. Don't be invisible. It's okay to own your life because your life belongs to you. I'm sending you loads of love and I will see you soon.